Welcome to Parenting Mental Health. It's another Wednesday. We're back. I'm Dr. Court from Bay Community Health and happy to be with you today. Today, we are going to be talking not maybe, we're going to be talking about some health hacks. And the reason I want to bring this up is because I feel like all too often we have moments where we just aren't sure how to get on the right foot. And there are some really small little things. Some recent research has been done and it's been kind of all brought together. And we're going to look at it and use this research to help us kind of identify what we can do to be our best selves and how we can take this and use some of these little hacks, for lack of a better way of saying it, and help our kids out. So first, we need to work with our mind. I know I'm biased, I'm a therapist, so there you go. Well, it's really important that we change our mindset. I love the Henry Ford quote of, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're both right. It's so true. If you think you can't do something, you're not likely to achieve it. If you think you can do something, you're exponentially more likely to achieve it. If you've been watching the Olympics, it's the Olympics right now. It's so exciting. There's so many amazing examples of perseverance, resiliency, good sportsmanship, compassion, empathy, just someone working really hard to do something well. It's all evidenced in the Olympics, and I love it. It's so many good lessons that you can watch. If you haven't had a chance to watch any Olympics, please hurry up. This is the last week. They're finishing up, so this is the time to watch. If you change your mindset, you're going to change your life. For those of you that have had a negative mindset, you know how this worked in the opposite direction. You started thinking negatively and it just kept going. So let's work on changing our mindset and knowing that we can change for the better. And that'll help us in every other aspect of our life. So again, these are some health hacks from experts around the globe, different doctors, nurses, mental health practitioners, nutritionists that have given us some quick tips to be better. So the first one is, if you have to have that cup of coffee in the morning, you really use a lot of caffeine, even if you have, you just have low energy and you're not, and coffee makes you jittery, let's try a little switch to matcha. So you can get matcha powder, you can get matcha at Starbucks. I think Dunkin' has it as well. Here's why this could be even better than a cup of coffee. Coffee is straight caffeine, and that type of caffeine that's in the coffee bean tends to create a nervous type of energy. Now, in small doses, it can actually help with cognitive focus. So small amounts of caffeine are great. Coffee can have a lot of caffeine in it. So if you want to make that caffeine work for you a little bit more, you can switch to matcha. And here's some of the reasons. Matcha contains an amino acid that reduces stress. It also has catechins like EGCG, which are unique to green tea and are also known for their anti-cancer and anti-inflammatory properties. So just by switching, still getting the caffeine you need in the morning, but switching to something slightly different can help improve your health. Also, matcha kind of has a sweet flavor and it's green, so it can be fun to try out with your kids, have them try it. Obviously, don't give it to them right before bed. This would be something to have them try in the morning when they have all day to work off the energy. Remember, caffeine has a half-life of about 6 hours, so it takes a long time to get out of our system. So also related to caffeine, if you're struggling with sleep issues, stop drinking caffeine early in the day so you have enough time to go to sleep without caffeine impacting it. So what's the next one? Well, Studies show that looking at your phone actually produces cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which primes your brain for distraction that's related to fight or flight, right? If you're easily distracted, you're looking around, you're kind of paranoid, that's because you're assuming there's a threat somewhere and you're focused on the distraction, so to speak, right? This is stressful, and cortisol helps us with that, dealing with that really stressful situation. Well, if you're not in a super stressful situation, like waking up and you're home, well, instead of getting up and looking at your screen immediately, which apparently actually impacts and increases the amount of cortisol released, instead, get up. You can take your phone with you, just don't start scrolling through it, put it in your pocket, go out for a walk. Getting that vitamin D in the morning with low intensity light, especially in the summer, right? We don't like being out in the middle of the day. We get lots of sun, lots of UV rays, and it's very intense. Well, if you go out first thing in the morning when the sun is still really low, the type of intensity that's coming from that UVA light actually activates a collection of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Serotonin helps us relax and feel calm. Dopamine gives us feelings of joy and happiness. It also helps with hormones like lipotropin and endorphins. And so those also help with those feel good feelings, feeling relaxed, calm, and control. So going out for a walk first thing in the morning. You know what? If you have a dog, take your dog. If you don't. But just, you can even, if you want to use your phone, you can put in music, listen to music while you walk, and just do it for as short as 20 minutes or even 10 minutes. Just getting out there. The ideal light time is 40 minutes after sunrise. If you don't get up that early, that's okay. But instead of scrolling through your phone first thing in the morning, go out for a walk. Shop locally and seasonally. So what does this mean? That means get out to local produce stands and farmers markets. This not only helps our local economy and our community, it helps our planet by reducing the emissions that it takes to transport all this produce from places like California and Florida that are warm year round and can give us produce that would not be in season here during different months. It's also healthier for you because likely our local farms and our smaller farms especially, they're less likely to be using intense pesticides. They're much more likely to be more organic or pesticide free. And the produce you're getting isn't highly refrigerated. So the produce once produce is refrigerated, it starts to decrease in nutrient value. If you've noticed, if you've ever refrigerated a strawberry or a tomato before, you notice they don't taste as good than if you get them picking them directly. Well, you're onto something. And part of that is you're tasting the nutrient that's devalued, you're tasting that the nutrients are still there. Once they get refrigerated or cooked, the nutrient value decreases a little bit. So it's healthier for you to increase. And from a mental health perspective, you're getting out in the community, you're supporting your local community, you're getting out, you're seeing people in a really low stress, low risk environment. Great place, farmers markets are a great place to take kids. And it can also just be a great place to meet people. In case you're wondering where the local farmers markets are in Maryland, specifically around Anne Arundel County, these are the 4 that are represented on local websites. You have the Anne Arundel County one, which is off of Riva Road. You can see the times and the hours for that one. They also have a website you can go to. There's a Crofton Farmers Market by the Crofton Library. There is one in Glen Burnie at the town center off of Crane Highway. And there's Honey Harvest Farmers Market, which is down near Lothian. Any of those would be great places to go, not to mention all the various farms in the area. I'll throw a shout out to Zhang's just because I know, but they have one off of Muddy Creek Road. There's several off of 424. So any local produce stand, also, you're doing the same thing. You're supporting the local community and you're being healthier, not only for yourself, but for the planet as well. So you can also grow stuff yourself. gardening has been shown in a lot of research to reduce stress. It promotes feelings of well-being, and included in that are actually feelings of compassion and empathy. In fact, one of the ways you can teach kids compassion and empathy is by having them grow plants, because they have to take care of something that can't water itself, that, you know, it needs some help, and it produces something beautiful for you if you treat it well, whether it's a flower or a fruit. Plants can do that for us. So we also learned through studies that gardening can actually decrease the risk of dementia. And that's one I had not heard of before. I love it. So this is a great retirement activity as well. So great to do with your kids when you're younger. I will tell you, I grew up gardening. I hated it when I was a kid, sort of. I hated the weeding. I loved the picking of the stuff. Didn't always love what I was eating, but I appreciated that we grew it, and I would try stuff. I was more willing to try it because we grew it and I was proud of what we grew versus getting something from a store. So this can boost mood. It can create a nice screen-free environment for your family that can help boost your health and your mood. Well, hydration is something that we have to talk about in the summer. And I would say for anyone, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Drink water. Water is always the best hydration method. If you want to spice up your water a little bit, here's a recipe. You can add lemon slices, cucumber slices, and a handful of cilantro or mint. And by doing that, you're not only giving a little diversity to your water drinks, but you're also adding vitamin C and some potassium and some other nutrients to your water that you wouldn't have already. There have been a lot of studies around lemon water and it reducing the chances of kidney stones. There are lots of other detoxifying a lot of detoxifying reasons why you would want to drink lemon water. But if you want something more than just lemons, cucumber, cilantro, or mint can also spice up your water drinking. And I want to talk about hydration a little bit more. So increasing your water intake is so vital to your health. And I want to go into a little more detail about this. When you are dehydrated, your kidneys have to work harder. Your liver has to work harder. Your digestive system has to work harder. Your skin struggles to stay healthy. There are so many aspects of our body. Our blood is thicker, and thus our heart has to work harder to pump our blood. I know this because I used to be chronically dehydrated when I was in my 20s. And whenever I would give blood, they would complain it would take too long for them for me to bleed, right? For them to get the blood out of me, that they would only be able to use the platelets by the time I was done because I was so dehydrated. So think of all the ways that you're, by just not drinking enough water, you're actually putting stress on your body. So drinking water is so important to improved health, and it's an easy thing to have your kids do, right? Give them a water bottle, have them take it with them everywhere. Get them a nice water bottle. When they get a little bit older and they can actually take care of water bottles. I know right now, and my kids are school age, Stanleys are a big deal. So someone gifted my daughter a Stanley. She has had that thing for a year now and has not lost it. Every other water bottle she lost like once a month. But she keeps that thing and she does drink from it. It's a reminder to drink all day long. I keep a water bottle on my desk. I'm always having something to drink. So for kids, let's talk about the signs of, because kids and the physically challenged are a little more at risk of being dehydrated because they depend on a caregiver to give them food and water. So for small children and infants, it might be more difficult to recognize signs of dehydration because they can't effectively communicate that they're thirsty. And also as adults, we often confuse hunger or confuse thirst for hunger. And here's why. Evolutionarily, when we were nomads and we didn't have the ability to drill a well to get clean water or have a filtration system, we used food to get the water we needed. And we were chomping on water-rich greens that would get us the water we needed. So oftentimes we feel hungry when we're actually just thirsty, which is why if people are trying to lose weight or they're dealing with some diet issues, they always say, drink some water. When you first feel hungry, drink some water first and see if the hunger goes away. This is why. Related to that, you know, for children, we might not know, they might not know that they're dehydrated. Here are some things to look for. In children and infants, if their eyes are sunken or their cheeks are sunken in, they have bags on their eyes, it can be a sign of dehydration. They express having a dry mouth or a tongue. If their diapers aren't wet for 3 or more hours at a time. I know that in some ways for parents are like, oh, thank God. However, they need to be using the bathroom. And that's true for you too. If you can go 8 hours without using the bathroom, you're probably dehydrated. Okay. If the child is kind of irritable, they react to things more quickly. In adults, other symptoms that can show the fact that they're dehydrated, dark colored urine, dizziness, fatigue, headaches, confusion, nausea, all signs of dehydration. So if you have someone that's a little resistant to just drinking water, you can try this recipe. Also adding seltzer water can be good. Just be careful. Some seltzer waters actually add salts, which can help and inhibit hydration in some ways. So, just plain water is great. Using lemon slices and cucumber slices, there's nothing wrong with that. And that just enhances the nutrient value of water and can make it more interesting for kids. So, you can try that and increasing your hydration. Move after mealtime. This was something that I do frequently when I'm on vacation and almost never do when I'm home. Here are the reasons why this is so important. Going for a casual 20-minute walk. So what I'm saying is not a stressful, high intensity workout, just going for a casual walk actually aids in digestion, it boosts mood, and it helps your blood sugar balance level off. Now, if you go and you know this, if you were ever a kid and jumped in the pool right after eating and started doing chicken fighting or playing Marco Polo or something really intense, you got a stomach cramp. Why? Because the blood left your digestive system and went to the muscles to give your muscles enough blood and oxygen to be able to do the activity. However, a casual walk does not take away from your digestive process so much that you'll get a stomach ache. Just nice leisurely stroll. This can also boost connection with your family members if you go together or with your partner. It's a way to get your kids out of the house after eating. It also helps reduce fatigue. It's counterintuitive, but if you get up and move right after you eat, your body uses that energy to fuel you immediately as opposed to creating fat stores. So get out and move. This can help with your health and help create an environment where you're having greater family time. So these were some quick health hacks that I wanted to throw out there. And we're testing out this lunchtime Wellness Wednesday, because now if you watch this now, I would love for you, after I post the video or even before, I want you to go tell us, post in the comment section some of your ways that you reduce stress and increase health in quick, easy ways. Post them on Facebook and I will make sure to share them and give you credit for them. Also, as always, if you have any questions about what we've talked about, where I'm getting my data from, always happy to answer that. Be well, breathe in deeply, exhale slowly, and smile. Have a good one.